Trip to California doesn't sound so bad, does it?
Not so bad. Oh, we have lyrics to our song now. That's exciting.
We do. That was you singing it, I thought.
Not so much. I don't have that angelic of a voice, let's be completely
All right,
honest.
if you want to win a trip for California, the good news for you is that we just happen to be giving one away. We want to fly you there, put you up in a hotel for 7 nights, give you passes to Knott's Berry Farm, SeaWorld, Universal Studios, and of course, a tour of Hollywood. It's all brought to you by Orange County Tourism. To win, very, very simple. All you have to do is watch Chat TV between 7:30 and 11 p.m. on weeknights for your cue to call.
You know what's sad is that if I went to LA and Hollywood, my tourist thing would probably be to go and watch the paparazzi, whereas the paparazzi are supposed to be clicking pictures and video of the celebrities people want to see. I'd kind of want to hang out outside.
Behind TMZ.
Yeah, I would just want to hang out with the TMZ guy and be like, your life must be really entertaining.
It might be, but you know what else is going to be entertaining?
Let's hope
Game
anyway.
2.
I know you and I both had Philly to take the World Series.
Bandwagon.
So far we're good. I don't know if either of us expected the Game 1 result from last night though.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I can tell you another group of people who probably weren't expecting that either. The New York Yankees. Yeah, they probably didn't want to open the Fall Classic with a 6-1 loss at home. But the Philadelphia Phillies, let's be honest, they're a confident bunch right now. And why not when you are the defending champs? Now, the pitching matchup in tonight's Game 2 might not be as sexy as the Sabathia Lee showdown from last night, but it is pretty darn intriguing. Grizzled playoff vet Pedro Martinez gets the ball for the Phillies. He has a pretty love-hate relationship with the Yankees faithful, of course, stemming from his days as a Boston Red Sox. And then you have A.J. Burnett. He's making his World Series debut. He'll be on the bump for the Yankees, and he is, pretty aware of the situation that he's in.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm going to prepare it, maybe, as another game, but deep down, man, I know what it's about, and I know how real it is, and I don't want to change that. I want to go out there knowing it's my first World Series start.
New York fans are very passionate, are very aggressive, but after you take your uniform off and you deal with the people, the real human being, it's all just been fans, and I have all the respect in the world for the way they enjoy being fans.
Pedro back in the World Series. Crazy to see. All right, do you think there might just be a little bit of anticipation in Green Bay this week? Sunday afternoon, we'll see the former Packer great, one Mr. Brett Favre, making his return to Lambeau Field, but of course he'll be donning the purple and white of the division rival and much hated Minnesota Vikings. Well, Packers fans definitely giving Favre the early cold shoulder. The city of Green Bay temporarily renamed Minnesota Avenue for its newer quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, who is a pretty darn good pivot in his own right. It's actually just one of several fan-inspired suggestions that the mayor is using to deliver a maybe not so welcome back jab at Favre ahead of Sunday's game. Although Favre, he already has the first laugh against his old squad. He and the Vikings beat Rodgers and the Packers in Minnesota in Week 4. That was a 30-23 final. All right, our play of the day comes from the great state of Colorado. A little NBA action between the Denver Nuggets and the Utah Jazz. And this time around, it's all about making amends for your mistakes. Nuggets Carmelo Anthony, he'll pull up and miss the 3-ball, but after Paul Millsap comes up with the rebound, Anthony will steal the outlet pass, then the facial on Millsap. Check it out a couple of more times as he commits the robbery and comes down. Anthony primed for a huge season. Good start. He helped the Nuggets to the 114-105 home win last night. That is what you call getting posterized. That is it for me for now. I'll be back later. Riley has your look at the local weather right after the break. All right, it is back to full-on business tomorrow night for the college basketball teams. Both Rattlers squads suffered home-and-home series losses to St. last weekend that left them licking their wounds maybe of just a little bit. Now, it's very important for the Rattlers to get a win under their belts this weekend to try and get some momentum going. The Lady Snakes might have been a little bit caught off guard by the physicality the Trojans brought to the floor in the opener, but they did make some good adjustments in game number 2.
They are definitely a very intense and aggressive team, and that's kind of what hurt us in the first game, kind of let them push us around a bit. But the second game we responded, we came out with the same intensity.
It's a lot about confidence, how they're feeling, and so if we can get some wins, I think the girls feel more confidence. They're a little bit looser when they shoot the ball, and I think it affects our offense. Like if you're confident, our offense flows a little bit better. So, I mean, we can't control whether we win, but I agree that it does help, and everything kind of seems to lighten up a little bit when you get a few W's.
Now, the men are confident. They, too, learned some good lessons in that opening weekend. Size is something the Snakes will have to battle against all season. But, hey, the head coach really doesn't want his players focusing on any possible deficiencies.
I'm really happy with my guys. I think it's just going to take some maturity and, just some growth. And so how can I score? How can I use my advantage being smaller over a bigger man? Now, we can always say the downside that, we're a little bit smaller, so, poor us. But, you can't live like that. You've got to step up and say, what do we have?
It's just all mental. We got to come out there and we got to be ready to shoot. We got to be ready to play. And we got to do the little things like boxing out. We got to be prepared to play against big guys like Red Deer that are more experienced.
Well, the way things are going with injuries, the Vancouver Canucks might just have to enlist the old cast of MASH to get back to being a healthy unit. No less than 5 impact players on that roster are off skates these days, the biggest of which probably goaltender Roberto Luongo. He has that hairline fracture in his left rib cage. Now, the club doesn't know for certain how much time he'll miss, but with 6 games in their next 9 days, this is not good timing. We get more from Global Vancouver.
That is a phenomenal amount of people that are injured.
It really is. 40% of your starting lineup. That is tough. Very creative coaching is what that calls for.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, news today that another big name in the NHL, one of the biggest actually, Evgeny Malkin from the Pittsburgh Penguins, he will miss the next 2 to 3 weeks, battling a bit of an upper body injury. So another star off skates for a while. And locally here tonight, it is the